This video tip is part of an extensive series created by the Blue Ram Group for www.freshwatertropicalfishtanks.com and www.tropicalfishaquariumvideos.com to help aquarists understand the unique environment of their aquarium. The entire series of setup tips covers a wide range of important topics, but ultimately this may be the most important of them all. Whenever electricity and water are somehow combined, there is a huge opportunity for disaster. Water always will try to find the lowest place it can migrate. The water is contained in an aquarium, but there is inevitably some opportunity for the water to spill or otherwise fall outside the aquarium. Splashes can also occur when the tank is being filled after regular water maintenance or in a wide variety of other possible scenarios. It should be taken for granted that water will, occasionally, find its way outside the container and into areas where electrical connections must be made. Even when water is not somehow spilled or splashed, one of the easiest ways water can find a path to move down the floor is by trickling on any hoses that enter the aquarium. Filters often use hoses to transport water to and from the aquarium. Always make sure that the hoses are positioned in such a way that they do not allow any water to move down the outside of the hose. Position outputs for filters away from the hoses that supply them as much as possible. Splashing inside this fish tank is a great way for water to find a way to escape from the container. Besides the water intake and exhaust hoses and pipes used to transport water between filter and aquarium, the other area that can cause serious problems as far as mixing water with electricity are the power wires that enter the aquarium to operate any of the electrical items that require power within the aquarium itself that are needed for the health and welfare of your fish. These can be filters of various sorts as well as submersible heaters and such. Each electrical apparatus must be connected by a power cord between the electrical socket and the unit housed within the fish tank. The necessity of having wires in the aquarium and exiting from the top can be very dangerous, since water can be splashed onto these wires, travel down them directly into the socket if there is no preventative measures taken. Water in a socket is a strong fire hazard. The solution to this hazard is not very difficult to remedy. The hazard is well known to many certification agencies. They are not often very careful to require the reference to a drip loop, and its importance is stressed in the manual that accompanies the electrical appliance for sale. Any electrical appliance sold for an aquarium in most countries requires that it is tested for specific criteria to ensure the unit will perform as it has been specified, and that all regulations regarding it have been fulfilled. One of the more important aspects of this certification is the requirement that certain text be included in the instructions. In most cases, where there is even the remotest chance that the wire will come into contact with water, the safety instructions are generally required to specify the use of a drip loop as part of the operating installation instructions. A drip loop is a very simple thing to implement. It requires no tools or added equipment, or even any modifications to the unit during installation. The installation must simply ensure that a part of the wire is located well below the electrical socket, and then must rise back up to the socket before it is plugged in. This will force the water to drop off the wire, or at worst remain on the wire at this lower point and unable to trickle into the electrical socket, instead of following the wire right into the socket. When you are doing any maintenance, always ensure that water cannot drip directly into the electrical socket. Arrange all hoses and wires so that they always have a loop below the socket that delivers the power to your aquarium. You need the power to operate the electrical appliance in and around your aquarium, but you certainly want to do everything you can to prevent any possibility of water and power somehow mixing. This video tip is part of our ongoing Blue Ram Group project. As the video becomes available, each will be mounted within the FAQ section of the websites. If we haven't answered your personal question quite yet, you can get your particular aquarium-related questions answered for free by our experts by filling out the Ask a Question form at the freshwatertropicalfishtanks.com website. If you want to be notified as soon as each new video is made public, we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and be the first to know each time a new video is added to the Blue Ram channel at http://www.youtube.com/user/BlueRam86.